It might be a strange thing to consider, but when you are starting to learn something new, knowing the best places to seek help can be the most important thing to your advancement. Fortunately, Google Sheets makes it pretty easy. Finding menu items in Google Sheets can be pretty clear compared to other types of spreadsheet software out there. The menu bars I find are fairly intuitive. However, if you do need assistance, you can always click the Help menu here, and it comes up with a variety of options. First, you have a search menu. You can access the search menu or the Help bar by also clicking Alt and then the /. So Alt / Help menu comes up. Next, you've got Sheets Help. We'll go on to that in a minute. Then Google has its own exclusive training that you could access if you want to spend some time going through the training process with Google. Then there's some updates on the latest tools and updates for Google Sheets. And then Help Sheets Improve is your way to give feedback and then report abuse or copyright issues if you find something like that. There's the privacy policy, terms of service, and then we've got the function list. And the function list I particularly like, and I usually keep this up in another tab while I'm developing more complex formulas in large projects. And then we've got the keyboard shortcuts, which we've covered in the past, and you can access that with the Control /. And in itself, this is a great help tool for you and also a fantastic way for you to speed up your efficiency in negotiating or traversing Google Sheets. Okay, let's go back to the help. And in the search menu, if you forgot one of these menu items and you want to get to it quickly, you could type it in. So if you say freeze, then you've got a list of freeze items. And you can click on one of these and they'll actually action that item. If I say freeze 2 rows, done. It's already frozen those 2 rows. And if you're trying to keep yourself exclusively on the keyboard instead of the mouse to improve your efficiency, and you still happen to forget, you can still use this shortcut to Alt, and then we'll say grid lines, and then we can remove our grid lines, just like that. So next, let's go into Help and select Sheets Help and see what pops up. Okay, so now you've got a more detailed help bar that you can keep onto the side here and move it around as you're working. So first there's some popular resources, or you can visit the forums, and that'll send you to a separate forum when you can start asking questions about complex formulas that you might be trying to work out. More on this in a moment, so we'll close that for now. We can browse a list of articles, which is another external link, or we can search for different help items here. So add or remove headers. Yep, that's something we want to look at, so we can click on that. And it'll come up with a list of instructions right in your Google Sheet. So that's super useful. Let's close that for now, and let's have a look at another help resource in Google Sheets. So for example, if I wanted to count all the exclamation marks in this exclamation mark, let's hit equals and count A. And you can see a little question mark on the side here. Sometimes this question mark might actually be an expanded box here. This gives you a really good example on how to use the function that you've selected. So you can see here for our count example, it's asking us for a range, and it will say, okay, here's one range, and you can see these little braces here. This means it's optional. And an example of this is when we look down in value and value 2, these are in brackets, it also means optional as well. So before we go on, we're still a little bit confused about count A, so let's click on learn more. And now you'll get a few more details and particular list of notes and more examples that will be provided on the particular function. So that's a really helpful tool. Okay, so let's close that. And let's just quickly finish this. So let's just select this range and we've got our count. Awesome. So if you're trying to plan out a bit more of a complex formula based on a bunch of functions and you need a little bit of guidance, what I usually do is I go to the help button here and then I go down to the function list and select that. This will open up into a new tab and we can see a bunch of examples of all the functions here. So we can narrow this down by the subject matter that we're dealing with. So for example, if we're dealing with dates, we can select this and select dates. And then we have a list of different types of functions here. So this is the main category on the left, and this is the name of each of the functions that we could use. And if you want to learn more about that function, you just click on learn more. And it'll open up another tab. But don't worry, the other tab will be back here, ready for you to search for something else. So in that tab, again, more detailed notes on that particular function. Okay, let's go back to this one. You can also filter by doing a quick search. For example, I might say day. And now we've got anything with the word day in it, it's searched down for us. So workday, weekday, for example. So what about if we want to make some complex formulas based on all these functions? Well, your best friend again is, as always, Google. So one thing people get caught up on and get quite frustrated about is when they ask a question for the first time in Google, they might not get the response that they're after. You might want to try and use synonyms or similar terms that you think might better explain the problem that you want to resolve. Now, if you're having no luck with that, sometimes it's better just to break down the problem into smaller sections you think it might be built up upon, and then start searching for those smaller sections. Then you'll get a vocabulary of words that you might be able to piece together to create a better search when you're looking for more complex formulas. Okay, so that's it for help in Google Sheets. I'll see you later.